Hey, what's going on guys? The Langbanger here. So I have a new profile for you and I wanted to go over my updated Fluffal deck. So first and foremost, I actually have a tripod now for my phone. So hopefully you guys enjoy this angle a little better. So I will say up front, I mean, first of all, the tins, the 2020 Mega Tins are coming out this weekend at the time of this recording. So I do not have any of the cards from that yet, so you may want to update a couple of things like here and there. So basically if something is in the tin, I don't own it, but let's just go into it. So this deck did get quite some support from Rise of the Duelist. So you have 3 dog, you have 3 bear, you have 3 penguin. So now you actually want to use 3 penguin just because of the edge imp scythe, and you can fuse during your opponent's turn. So in a way, that's a negation or a stopper to your opponent's plays. You have 2 Fluffal wings, you have 3 edge imp scythe, you have 2 edge imp chain, and then you have 1 sabers. So I'm not entirely sure on that ratio yet on the edge imps. I mean, I feel Edge Imp Chain is just so good, just being able to search out. I want to use 3, but space is crazy tight. I still think that having 1 saber is cool, just being able to recur that if you need it. 3 scythe, that's absolutely mandatory. So not much to that. So I went over the 3 of or 2 of Fluffals and then all the edge imps, and now I have some random 1-ofs. Fluffal Dolphin, Cat, and then a non-Fluffal or edge imp is Artifact Scythe. So there's some cool interactions with this because essentially if you can get Dagda, once your opponent activates something, you can set this and then the whale can pop it and then your opponent can special summon, if I got that correct. So that's the monster lineup. Onto the spells, you have 3 Polymerization, 3 Toy Vendor, 3 Fluffal Patchwork, 3 Forbidden Chalice, 3 Forbidden Goods, 2 Fright for Fusion, 2 Pot of Desires, 1 Diffusion, and 1 Fusion Recovery. So I still really like Fusion Recovery. I don't want to say it's a card people aren't using, but maybe not as much. I mean, we have newer support now, but I still think that it's really cool just to get a material and a polymerization back if you need it. Defusion, I was thinking of this. I mean, I guess apparently it started to pop up in the OCG a little bit, but I think that's pretty cool that you can bring out a fusion, maybe it can negate it, and then you can split it up, get the materials back, and then you should get the effect. That's at least how I'm thinking that works, but then at the very least, if needed, you can beat with a fusion and then you can break it up, bring out 2 extra bodies, and then if needed, you can push for extra damage and then main phase 2 and maybe do stuff. So that's kind of my thought process on that. 2 Fright for Fusion, I still really like this. A lot of people, I think, only use 1. I think that's at least mandatory at 2 because maybe your plays may not always work out according to plan. The 3 goods, I think that's pretty standard now. Basically, in a way, if you want to think of it, you either have 6 dogs or, you just have more ways to search because you're going to send the toy vendor. 3 Forbidden Chalice, I'm kind of using this maybe to stop Zexal, maybe to stop a Appaloosa potentially. So I just like the quick play. That's basically all there is to that on the spells. I'm not using any traps, really no need to. Onto the extra deck, you have 2 the whale. It's really cool. You pop a card you have and then a card your opponent controls, and it is a quick play. So that's really cool. And then also you can send stuff to the grave. That's really neat as well. You have 2 tiger, you have 2 saber-tooth, you have 1 kraken, 1 sheep, 1 wolf. So those are all the fusions onto the Exceed. So the stack kind of, I guess, evolved in a way because for the most part, I guess you would be using mostly fusions, but now you can go into weird cards or plays. So you have True King of All Calamities, one of the best cards in the game. It's just a matter of can a deck go into it? Well, now this deck can because the whale is a level 9. So just gives some utility. If you're able to bring that out, you know, you're looking good. Bahamut Shark. So now you can do that because of the penguins and then dolphin. So you have plays to do that, and then you get to go into toad. I mean, I'll be honest, like, I haven't been playing a lot of, you know, games with this or anything like that. I mean, you know, I haven't been to locals, and, like, I haven't been playing online and all that, but you would think this would be worth incorporating in the extra deck, but also at the same time, I kind of think, well, space is already tight on this, so I'm not saying, like, that's 100% stable, but as of now, I'm thinking that that's a good play. Then I'm using a Hope Harbinger as well. I think that that's really good stuff. You're still using level 8, so you get to go into this. Not too much to say there. Then I have 2 links. So you have Dagda, and then you have Boral Sword. So I kind of made the idea of, or I kind of mentioned before at the beginning of the video that, you know, with the tins coming out, maybe I would update this a little bit. So I think to myself, do I want to include IP Masquerena? Do I want to include Appaloosa? Do I even want to use some crazy, like, Red Eyes fusion to go in the Dragoons? So, it kind of sounds goofy at first, but then I was kind of thinking in my mind, well, if you do hard draw the Red Eyes Black Dragon or Dark Magician, at least you're already using polymerization in the stack. You have a way to get to polymerization, so you might be able to just use those materials in some way, but that's kind of untested. I mean, you really want to go on the offense, but then also you need to have some defense too. So maybe I could cut the Boral Sword, because honestly, this is really... really aggressive. I mean, it throws out beaters and damage like no other. It can break a lot of cards on the field. It's just a matter of if they're going to get through, and then essentially depends on how many hand traps or negations your opponent has, but I think that this deck can play through that. So I was even debating on the Artifact Dagda, because honestly, you're using the 1 Scythe in the main. It is such a good card, and then Scythe just says your opponent ends their turn. One of the cards also, I just didn't get one, and I know that someone would call this out, and kind of rightfully so, but Predaplant Anaconda, maybe you may want to incorporate that in this as well. I just don't own one. I should have got one when it first came out, but then, you know, it went up because of Dragoon. Doesn't mean I won't get one, but these are, you know, pretty much just the cards that I have to mess with. So thank you guys for watching. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had for you. Hopefully you guys like this tripod look, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.